Hey everybody, Pastor Taylor here, and just wanted to talk to you a little bit about our sermon series, Growing the Church Small. This past Sunday, we talked about roots and the importance of having roots that are deep. In St. Margaret's Bay, I shared some amazing news with them, and I want to share it with all of you as well. It was probably just maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 days ago that Faith St. Margaret's Bay became Faith St. Margaret's Bay. So it's been a year of doing this journey. I've been here a little bit less than a year. I wasn't here when that official transition took place, but I wanted to read a couple of verses to you, to all of us, in encouragement around this idea that we have now been Faith St. Margaret's Bay and Faith Halifax, all Faith City Church together for about 1 year. And this verse comes from the first Psalm, and I'm going to start reading. I'm going to skip a couple of verses, but it says, "Blessed is the man whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by the streams of water that yields fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers." As I shared with the church in St. Margaret's Bay on Sunday, when you're transplanting a tree, and this is something I learned from someone who kind of works in the forestry field or has education in the forestry field, when you are transplanting a tree, you need to have 5 to 6 times more roots below the surface than you do weight in tree above the surface. So if your tree weighs 10 pounds above the surface, you need like 50 pounds of roots below the surface in order to sustain this tree as you transplant it. Faith St. Margaret's Bay has been a process of transition over this year, but I want to commend all of you for praying, for everyone out in St. Margaret's Bay, for visiting with us, for joining us, and even sharing that you want to volunteer out there in events that we do in the future. But part of the reason we've been able to make it through this last year of change and transition is because I believe the folks in St. Margaret's Bay, those that have joined in, and those of you who are praying for us and a part of us, sometimes through distance, but that's totally fine. We've been able to get where we are today because of the strong roots that you have. You have roots that go down deep. You have roots that are holy and that are full of loving God and loving each other. And that's how we've been able to make it through the change and the transition. This verse also says, it yields its fruit in season. And that's what I'm believing for in this next season. I look around our church in St. Margaret's Bay on Sundays and I see the growth that's happening. But I believe in this next year for fruit in its season. There's another scripture verse that says, Paul planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. And I'm just believing that this year is going to be a year that God is going to bring fruit. He's going to bring growth in our personal lives, that people are going to come and be a part of our church, that people are going to come to know who Jesus is in St. Margaret's Bay, in Halifax, and we're going to see God do some amazing things. So keep growing those roots down deep. Keep praying for us in St. Margaret's Bay. Keep praying for Faith City Church as a whole. And as we grow the church small, let's continue to see what God does in our midst.